The time is finally here. This is my Sonic Frontiers review. I knew it would be something special. I have taken my sweet time because I wanted to vigorously enjoy this game. Yes, it is the Sonic game of our dreams. Yes, I'm going to address it by category. And yes, if you've been on the fence, by the end of this video, you're going to be buying this game. Let's get to the video. Hello, it's George from Australia and welcome to Gaming My Whole Life, where I discuss everything video game related, from good old past pixels to the birth of 3D until now. Welcome to my humble yet smexy Australian gaming YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you who are subscribed to me are subscribed to me because you fell in love with my enthusiasm and my passion as I kept hyping Sonic Frontiers. The moment I saw the Sonic Frontiers first reveal gameplay by IGN, while everyone else was saying the game sucked, I'm sorry, you were watching a different trailer apparently, because when I saw it, I knew this was something special. And you know what? When I'm wrong, I call it out, and when I'm right, damn right I've got to call it out, right? I was right, this game is amazing. So, we're going to break this up into categories. First, we are going to discuss graphics. Then we are going to discuss sound. Then we are going to discuss gameplay. Then we are going to discuss the huge impact and what this means for the Sonic franchise as a whole. And of course, taste a little snippets in the meantime. And if you are new here and you enjoy what I do, hit the like button. That's how I know I'm doing a good job. And do consider subscribing as I cover everything video game related. A lot of my most recent subscribers are here because of my PSVR 2 coverage. If you're looking forward to that, subscribe for more. But for now, finally, I've been waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is a visual spectacle. It is beautiful with its dynamic day and night system, its high resolution textures. The ground is actually deformed, as you can see here with these rocks. The water looks fantastic. The rendering is second to none. The visual model of Sonic himself, even as you run, is rendered. You can't see any pixels. You can't see any hard edges. There is just so much detail on Sonic. You can go right up to him and he looks like some sort of CG work of art, right? The frame rate is completely stable. This really does feel like a tech demo, but in an absolute great way. It really shows off what Sonic is capable of as your environment continuously changes, as the visuals change, whether it's raining, whether it's flying through the air, whether or not you're getting beautiful reflections on the many shiny surfaces. You will absolutely not be disappointed with the visuals that this blue hedgehog brings to the table. There are 5 different zones to explore, each one with its own theme. Right here with the desert theme, you can see that there is distortion in the distance, different challenges, different enemies, more of that in the actual gameplay segment. But visually, it is an absolute delight. You can see the rendering at the back of Sonic's head. This honestly looks as amazing as you would have hoped. Even this desert area, there's plenty of areas within where it doesn't look the same. You will not get tired of what you see. The extremely high resolution textures that you can see here on the ground and the shadow quality is an absolute delight. It's rare that I feel graphics really play that much of a part in games. But I have to say, if you have the option between experiencing Sonic Frontiers on the PlayStation 5 or on a high-end PC or the Switch, if you can go the high-end route or the PlayStation 5, I would honestly recommend it, because the visuals that this game provides you with really do sell the experience. It would be an absolute shame not to see Sonic in all his glory. You want the sharpness, you want the advanced lighting, you want it all. It really sells the overall experience, and it is smooth as butter. Look how fast I am traversing through the world. There is no lag, there is no stutter. This is actually made off the CryEngine. Next, we are going to talk about the sound, and I'm only going to show footage for the first 3 areas out of 5 that the game provides because I don't want spoilers. The less you know about this game, the better. Every single zone or every single world that you can explore has its own theme with its audio design, with its music, and it does a great job. The instruments used to portray the feeling of this desert-like environment is fantastic. The sound design of Sonic Frontiers is used absolutely excellently. Depending on which of the 5 zones that you are in, you can experience calm music, energetic music, warm feeling music, dramatic music. The music definitely encourages exploration, and you have original sounds that you will recognize, such as the sound of Sonic picking up rings. When you enter battle, whether it is super end bosses or mid bosses, the sound will change drastically to suit the mood, to the point where it actually reminds me of Nightcore music. And if you're a fan of Nightcore remixes, and particularly the techno remixes, you would know that's actually very, very exciting news. Also, depending on what's around you, the sounds change as well. If you are beside the ocean, you are beside the cliff, you will hear the raging cliffs beneath you. It will make you feel everything looks and sounds just the way it should. But I do need to stress, the soundtrack for important moments of the game is wonderful. At first, fans may have been concerned that maybe the minimalist piano-like music was too much of a obvious copy / inspiration from Zelda Breath of the Wild, but rest assured, that is not the case whatsoever. You may hear it here, and you may get some feelings of resemblance, but this game is actually very different to Zelda Breath of the Wild. The music score is its own. Boss battles sound incredible. During moments you're meant to feel pumped up, it feels pumped up. And when you are in cyber zones, the music tempo changes completely to suit the mood. Never fear, you will never be playing Sonic Frontiers and it sounds off. It sounds energetic at just the right time, it feels calm. At the other times, it will not let you down. Let's talk about gameplay. This is the biggest flex that Sonic Frontiers has. Even though I love the engine, even though I love the performance, minus the pop-ins, this game, I do need to answer the question, does have significant pop-ins. As you run, you will continuously see things popping into the distance. You will see entire platforms and bushes and so forth pop up in front of you. That has not been addressed, and from what the developers have said, it is not something they can change. That being said, while I personally play, because I'm focused on Sonic, I don't realize, because Sonic moves very, very fast. I'm too busy trying to flip on the right platform. I'm too busy trying to reach things out of my reach. As you can see here, it is go, go, go. Like the eyes can barely keep up with Sonic's movements half the time. Like as you can see here, which is like just an insane flex, look how fast and how much land I have covered, right? Trust me, pop-ups won't actually cause you too much of a problem. Now, let's talk more specifics. Sonic himself feels absolutely amazing. When you first start playing Sonic Frontiers, it does feel foreign. You're going to not play well. You're going to be a little bit unco. You are not going to move fast with Sonic. You are going to stuff up all the dashes. You are going to miss all the jumps. And you may feel, hey, this Sonic isn't that good. Let me put those negative thoughts to rest. The more you play, the better you get. The more you realize that each one of these 5 zones is absolutely designed for maximum chaos. See how I'm flipping through things so quickly? When I first started playing, I was not traversing this fast. The tools were always available to me, but it takes time, it takes practice, and Sonic is just an absolute joy. How fast, how seamlessly you can explore in this game. So let's talk combat next, right? Traversing, wonderful. As you've seen, as I've been talking, I've just been flying around so fast everywhere to the point which you've probably struggled to even keep up. I have adapted. So these are your normal base enemies. If you hold down the counter button when they attack, you hit them back, you can unlock specials like this. You can punch, you can dash, you can do so many crazy moves. Sonic really is powered up as you unlock abilities, as you choose where to focus on. Now, all this big open world in front of you, there is a lot to do here. There is a lot to collect in this open zone sandbox, right? So firstly, you can see in the bottom left hand corner, you can see my level 20 out of 99, my level 59, my level 58, and then my level 17. One is how fast I can move, the other is how many rings I can collect, the other is how much physical damage and goodness I do, and the other one is my defense. I can choose which one of these to level up, and how you level up is through the many collectibles that you will find in Sonic Frontiers. There is not a single area that really goes to waste. You are continuously collecting basically the equivalent of Korok seeds, right? You find these little Coco characters, they're like little stones. You find them, you collect them, they're hidden around the massive zones, and then you bring it to these guys, right? Who they can upgrade you. See, I've collected special items that are hidden around the world, and just like that, you raise your stats, right? So it isn't empty for the sake of being empty. It isn't big for the sake of being big. It is big because it needs to be. Because as you can see, Sonic is a beast. This world, while it may intimidate you at first, becomes your plaything. See how I'm just flying everywhere. I am taking up so much ground within such a short amount of time, right? This world is yours, and Sonic really does do a great job of smashing, of flying. Height doesn't matter at all. You can just charge through. You can travel so far within such a short amount of time. If this was a short game, if this was a small world, it would not be good. Next, let's talk about if we hold down the Y button, we can do little ziggy-zaggies. And you can do them quite long. The moment you overlap, so you can go like this, but the moment you overlap, you let go, and you do an explosion. If there's nothing around, you will get coins. And if you have full coins, boom, check this out. You can see Sonic is glowing. He is literally pulsing electricity out of him. This game flexes its visual abilities every chance it gets. When you jump at nighttime, Sonic glows for no reason. Does he need to? No, but the visual design of Sonic Frontiers is gorgeous. Look at those reflections. Look at the back of Sonic and details. Speaking of looking at Sonic, and this is actually a personal thing, but fantastic, is in the game settings. Here it is. We have two very important settings: camera distance and camera angle. When you've seen other videos of Sonic, you've probably noticed that the camera is really far, that you don't get to see these awesome details on Sonic. That's because I chose to bring in the details. But if you would rather Sonic be just a dot on the screen while you run around, you can do that. Personally, I absolutely love this camera distance because I want to perv on the graphics. I want to perv on the character model. I think the visual design, the reflections, I want to see all that. And if the camera is too far away from Sonic, I can't really admire those smaller details. Speaking of visual design choices, look at this enemy right here, right? I will initiate a fight so then you can see what I mean, what I meant before when I did the audio section, what I meant when I said the sound changes depending on what you're doing and to suit the mood. So let's jump on our glowing friend right here. Phenomenal. Oh, the techno music is kicking in. Let's do this. Alright, let's initiate a boss battle. Look at this. This is such excitement. Every single enemy that you fight has to be engaged with in a different way. The music, the techno is fantastic. Look at this rush. I am literally floating in the air as the game renders the whole stage as Sonic charges after him with the boost. It is an absolute thrill. I cannot express the amount of times I have fought a different enemy in Sonic Frontiers and have just been in love with the process. It never feels the same. It never feels recycled. It feels satisfying to the core. I absolutely love it. Bosses are handled differently. Everything is built around Sonic. Oh, no. I jumped off. I should not have done that. Can I recover? Now, in every zone is something called cyberspace. Now, cyberspace is extremely important because this was implemented for the fans of the other previous 3D Sonic games. Previously, 3D Sonic games have been all about speed and rushing. None of this open zone business. And so Sonic Frontiers was a strong departure from what fans of those type of games are used to. I actually was not looking forward to playing the cyber zones because I'm not a fan of that style, right? But I still was glad it was implemented so then fans of old can enjoy it. Well, good news. The cyber stages are done so well and frankly are so beautiful. Look at the colors here, right? These stages are done so well that even I enjoy them now. The point is to get through as quickly as possible. You can still die, then it reboots and you go, right? What is fantastic about these stages is each zone seems to have at least 5 to 6 of these, maybe more if you look around. But it does a really good job breaking up the pace, right? Breaking up the pace, there's multiple ways to do the exact same thing. And frankly, it's given me an understanding where I can say, okay, I think I get it. I think I understand why the fans were upset that Sonic Frontiers looked different. Because this is a very different experience. But the way I see it is now everyone gets to experience it. And it is an absolute delight. I really, really like it. Every single one looks very differently. And I'm glad because this way old fans get looked after, but also the new fans who prefer the Sonic Frontiers style, we get to see what it was about. Now, I wouldn't have enjoyed this if this was the whole Sonic experience. I think it does better complementing the experience that's already there. But I can say I absolutely love this. So let me speak briefly for a moment. Sonic Frontiers is everything that I hoped a Sonic game would be. I find myself connected to Sonic as a character more than I have in literal decades. I love the challenges, I love the relaxing aspects, I love that the more you play, the better you get. I love that anyone who wants to play this game as quickly as possible, like mark my words, there would already be speedrunners going nuts. This game is a delight. You want to explore every single inch. You want to find every single nook and cranny. There is a lot to do. When you look at the map, look at these icons. These are all things to collect. There is so many. Let me show you another example of every single enemy is basically fought different, gives you different music, gives you different experiences. Check this out. We are now flying in the air. It has brought me up in a whirlpool. I have to hit it in between the fire, right? It isn't simply button mashing and punching. You need to be very strategic. You can use combos that you've unlocked. I love this Sonic attack, known as Phantom. So next we need to discuss story, and I really like the way the Sonic developers have approached this. When you first play Sonic Frontiers, nothing makes sense. All you want to do is you want to rescue your friends, and that's all you know initially. You know, characters slowly introduce themselves. Every single zone has you saving a different friend, right? So this gives you a different feeling. In the first zone, you get Amy, who you're exploring, who you're helping, and you rescue her. And she gets you to do little side missions that are important to her, and that suits her style and her character. In the second zone, you help out another friend, and so forth and so forth. I don't want to reveal it, but the actual story itself is interesting enough where I'm genuinely, the more I learn, the more I'm finding myself caring about the characters, the environments, what Sonic himself is trying to achieve. I think it will definitely hold your interest, and I see what the developers meant by they wanted to do a more serious take for Sonic this time around, and so they wanted the visual style to help further support that thought process. Lastly, I just want to congratulate the SEGA team for being bold, for trying something different, and for frankly giving Sonic the Hedgehog the respect I feel he has always deserved. I've always felt that Sonic, given the right guidance, can be a big enough IP to compete with Mario ever since he entered the 3D realm. He competed with Mario back in the 2D days, and I always felt Sonic was just cool enough, to be honest, to compete. And I know a lot of people say, I don't want Sonic to compete. No, I'm going to have to disagree. I like the idea of Sonic competing because I'm saying Sonic is good enough. Most people would not dare enter the ring with Mario, and I'm saying not only did Sonic have the potential from the start to do that, but Sonic Frontiers has me convinced that Sonic is now on the same caliber as Mario, which is a big deal. It is the biggest compliment that I can give to Sonic, but that's just how much of a positive impression Sonic Frontiers has left on me. You can easily spend anywhere between 8 to 10 hours per zone. You can get lost in the wilderness with the unlockables, speaking to the characters that you're trying to save, slowly piecing together the story. My experience with Sonic Frontiers has been an absolute delight. That is why I took my sweet time getting this review out. Yes, I could have gotten this out much sooner, but I did not want to hurry myself. I wanted to enjoy Sonic Frontiers at my own pace, because the moment I started playing it, I realized immediately, hey, this game is something special. And with that, nothing can mess with Sonic. Thank you so much for watching my review today. You have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you live on this big blue planet of ours. God bless you all. Take care. Sonic Frontiers, exactly the Sonic game that you hoped it would be. Now go out and play the game if you haven't already. Alright, bye-bye.